speaking. Yeah, and Baka the salad. So I hope I pronounced that correctly. Baka the salad to all Muslim faithfuls who are having their celebration today. Yeah, so I'm hosting a photographer of notes, and he'll be joining this live session very soon, very soon, very soon. So I'm having Dotun Ajayi. Dotun Ajayi is a professional photographer with experience and knowledge in the industry. He's the CEO of Dotunajayistudios, making memories with just a click. So Dotun Ajayi will be joining us shortly. Yeah, Dotun Ajayi is here. Dotun Ajayi is here. Okay. Live in a moment. Yeah. Wow, he's joining already. Hi, bro. What's up?
I'm fine. Good evening, boss. It's good to see you, sir.
Of course, you call me boss, I call you boss. I'm doing fine. So before we meet the conversation, I would like to say thank you so much for being part of this conversation. Thank you for obliging to this call. Thank you so much.
It's a great privilege. It's a great privilege, sir. I'm honored to be here.
Welcome.
I'm honored to be here. Yeah. Yes, boss.
My hand as well. So I'll be reading your bio so that people will know the amazing individual we have with us this evening. So Dr. Ajayi is a professional photographer with extensive experience and knowledge in the industry. He's the CEO of Dotun Ajayistudios at Dotun Ajayistudios, making memories with just a click. It is a company with absolute integrity. He shoots a lot of potraitures as well as cover events. He also teaches and mentors young photographers in proper editing of pictures. Prior to owning Dotun Ajayistudios, he worked for Korede Photography and is currently working for Oluremisa. Dotun Ajayi holds a Higher National Diploma in accountancy from Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro. Wow, what an amazing bio that is! So we have an amazing guest. I have an amazing guest with me right now, and I've just read his bio. I lost him, and I'm going to be having him back in a moment.
Yes.
Another thank you to everyone that is part of this. Yeah. So I've read his bio, and I mean, this is something very rich. So we can now go straight to what we have for tonight. So, how did you start out as a photographer? I mean, you had a background of accountancy. I mean, academic wise.
Okay.
So why is the need for photography? What caused the switch? Yeah. So let's start with that story.
Okay. No, the story is kind of, would I say it's strange, but I'll also put it in a way like probably is God ordained. Because the truth is, my father he was a photographer before he became a pastor. So then growing up, he do shows his jobs, then like he shot this man, he shot that man. So it's more or less like it was in me already. But then I was not that conscious of it. So when I finished my national diploma, in accountancy, so at that point I got to meet a very special person in my life, which is my pastor, Pastor Quintana Samuel. So then I joined the Gateway Church. So when I joined the Gateway Church, I saw a different view, and I saw different aspects of life. So then I got to realize that okay, this church is more of media and relation, connecting to people and this and that. So then there was a camera. So there was really no one to be taking pictures there. So I volunteered that, oh, sir, I'm willing to learn this. Can you just put me through? My pastor still says, he says this till now. He's actually my first boss in photography, because I can remember that day. It was after service. We went to his place, and then it was a 70D Canon camera. So he brought it out, and he was like, okay, this is a 70D camera. This ISO. This is aperture. So then all those things, it was sounding very, very strange to me, because that will be the very first time I'm going to hold the camera, and the very first time I'm going to, like, okay, to be introduced to the aspects called to the name and to the life photography. So me now, eventually finding myself in that space, despite studying accountancy and going to school to study on that course entirely. It is something I believe it has been inside me. And the moment I carried the camera, I felt, in photography, I did tell most people around me, like, okay, you as a photographer and your camera, you guys are in a relationship. So there should be a connection between you and your camera. So the
Yeah.
moment I carried the camera, I felt something different. And hence, like, right from that very point till now, even if I'm hungry, I carry camera. It is something I love doing. It's something I find very, very easy to do. So the aspect of studying accountancy and finding myself in photography is something I know God's direction, and I know it is actually God ordained situation of my life, and it's something I've never ever regretted. So I
Oh,
just try giving a
wow.
short review. So
Uh,
I believe that's enough.
I like that. I like the fact that you were able to create that perspective. But one of the things you said is that you believe it is divinely ordained. I mean, divinely ordained, like the journey.
Mm.
But I personally, I don't really want to. I know God has his part of it.
Oh,
I
okay.
believe human beings are part. So I believe you've been able to see an opportunity, being that there was a need for a photographer. I mean, at a point,
Mm.
and you thought like you wanted to give yourself to this opportunity. You wanted to
Yeah.
seize this opportunity, and you wanted to go yourself with this opportunity. I believe I'm right.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so I just said that because many people, when they hear about something being divinely orchestrated, they just feel like
Okay.
it's just from that perspective alone that
Okay, okay.
they should attack life and
Oh,
live life. Yeah. So I think I've been able to see from from your story that you saw an opportunity, you are able to take hold of it, and you were able to maximize it. So so in that light, I would like to join in higher. So one of the best ways people make themselves happy is to, I mean, in the present, is to recall happy moments in the past. I mean, from the past,
mm,
by seeing
exactly,
pictures, and
exactly.
it brings back that experience that wow, this was the time I graduated, this was the time I got married, and that opportunity to see that picture helps them to relieve I mean, those moments of
Yeah,
their lives. So you are in a business, practically, you are in a business of making people happy and documenting their happy memories. So how has the journey been? You get, is it something you enjoy doing? Is it something that makes you accomplished? I mean, feeling that sense of accomplishment, is it something you enjoy doing and you see yourself living life in the true sense of it? Is it something?
yeah, yeah. Me right now, I believe I am living I am doing what I ought to be doing. You get what I mean? And being a photographer, this is something I enjoy. I enjoy doing. Photography is a very, very wide. It's very, very wide. It's very, very wide. And photography actually says a lot. It says a lot. I happened to be in a movie set over the weekend, and in that movie set, there was actually a portrait, a frame that was used. And then the director of the movie actually came to us and asked that, okay, who can guess what year this picture was taken? Okay, I myself looking at it, this is a very old picture. I said, okay, maybe 1990 something, blah, blah, blah. Others were like, okay, 1970. But eventually, I think the person said 1902 or something. It was close to the
Wow.
1900s. So I was like, wow, wow. And if you look at that picture, you can't really tell the difference, but you know that certainly this picture is very, very old. So now, relating that to my own self and to my personality and to the life I'm living right now, photography tells a lot. Photography keeps memory. Photography brings back the happiness, and it tells, it's like is a love. Photography is love. It tells people what they can't really express to others
Mm,
by words. You can do that with
mm,
photography. So, and me as a person, I really like. I'm a very, very jovial person. I play a lot, but you know, and I don't really do that every time, but people around me will know that this guy play a lot. So I'm this kind of person, and my personality, I like making people laugh, and I like making people around me happy. You get what I mean? So sometimes, based on my own personality growing up, I was actually an introvert. So you get, so sometimes I find it difficult to face people and talk to them. So one way I actually enjoyed making people happy is also photography. You get?
mm.
Because okay, now if I
Because
see an elderly person, I say, is it?
because as you engage them, I mean, as you take their pictures,
E- e-
you need to
exactly,
interact with them, to engage them and all that,
exactly,
and bring out what
exactly.
what you want to see in them as you take their pictures. Like,
Exactly,
okay,
exactly. So it's just something I have never regretted doing, and I will never regret doing, because it's something I do every day, and it's something I have never complained about. And photography is something I find easy doing, because it's I don't know the exact word to use. I really don't know the exact word to use, but it's is something of joy, and it's something of happiness. It brings back the happiness, it brings back the joy, lost memories, and every other thing. It brings it back. So I do it tirelessly. Thank you.
wow,
I believe I'm
fantastic.
cool with that.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, you're on point. You're on point. You're on point. So,
Okay.
in a nutshell, I've been able to realize that you feel accomplished doing this. You feel happy doing it. You see yourself being in the in I mean being in a place you want to be. So, are you there? Okay. I can just
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
your face. So,
So,
I would like to move ahead with this reality and something because I had a background of photography as well. Though I don't do that. Yeah, I don't do that
yeah, the boss.
anymore. So I mean this was a time whereby we moved from burial to wedding, from wedding to naming, and you had seen a corpse in the weekend, a corpse in the weekend. You are coming to see a newborn and everything. Life is just mix up. Like I want to ask you, how do you do it? Like events that don't even connect. You had seen, maybe you went to mortuary today, the next day and the travels in between all these events. So how do you? I mean, there is a sense of adventure in photography. I mean, keeping memories and all that, but there is also this mixture of of tears, happy moments, and you need to still document all these things. So how do you keep your sanity? Being that you have to move in between different emotions, different moments. This time someone is joyful. This time someone has lost someone very dear to them. So as a creative and as someone that is good at it, how do you match this moment and you're able to still own yourself in all of this?
One thing is professionalism is key. Yes,
Okay.
professionalism is key. Because if you are not a professional photographer, you actually find it difficult to balance things. You know, about a week ago, I covered a burial ceremony. Uh, that it was a terrible one because that day it was a 2 day event, 2 days event. The first day was the wakekeeping, and the second day was the burial in the main event. So the second day, I wore a white top, a white native, a white top, up and down, and a white sneakers. You get, and a white sneakers. Funny enough, immediately I left the house, it started raining. And that aspect, that place is after inside some water. So I have no choice than to take bike. So when I took bike, what actually all my white turned to brown. You get, so I'm trying to balance things now. The first thing that happened was okay, it actually affected me. Like, oh, now my outfit is not as on point as it used as I actually planned it to be. So that can distract you one. And let me just divert, let me quickly change things now. So doing a burial ceremony, doing a portrait, doing a wedding, doing a covering an event, a conference, and every other thing. It tells. That's why I say photography is very very wide. Photography is very very wide. But the first thing is you must certainly know your area of specialty. It gets.
Mm.
And also, you need to be professional. There's one photographer I follow a lot, Eliano Photography. She's actually a very, very good portrait photographer, but she does not do infants. So there was this time she actually did a shoot for, I think, a relative infant, maybe 6 months or so, and it came out well. She's not specialized in infants, but the fact that she was able to do that, it came out well because she's a professional at what she's doing. You get, and
Okay.
apart from being professional, you must be creative. You must be creative. So you can go for a burial ceremony now and see people crying. You see people crying, you will still want to cover it because that is the story behind that burial ceremony. You must tell enough story, cover the moment
So,
whereas they're crying,
so
snap the corpse. Okay.
I would like to come in on this. I get a vibe. I get where you are going. I get a movement together. So I know there is a space for specialty. Some people are special. I mean, they have their own specialty in wedding photography. Some people have their own specialty probably in burial. Some people infants. Some people studio and all that. But as you know, as some people they really don't have that chance to have a focus at the initial of their career. Maybe you are just starting out and you just want opportunities, you want to be seen, you want to be out there, and you move in between different things, different events, because that was how I started. Although I'm not in photography, I'm in media, but it adds up to what I do today because the knowledge I could gather from all of that, all of those things, the knowledge is still helping me in where I find myself today. But what I'm actually driving at is the fact that there are different emotions that come together in a different event, and I know that you pass through that stage. I mean, irrespective of specialty. So how do you own yourself in moments of I mean you are just seeing people crying. I mean, and you have to, I mean, uh, um to do you've seen different lifeless bodies. The next day you are in the hospital. Maybe there's a newborn. The next day you are at a school. There's a graduation. You get, and you just have to, there's this emotion that, yeah, I mean yourself, that you just have to own yourself. So how do you balance life in view of that?
Okay. Me, based on my own, the way I do my thing, when I go for different events and I see the way things are, when it comes to burial ceremony and I see the reflection, I see the environment, okay, these people are crying. Most times, the way I handle my emotions is that I take my mind off the environment.
Oh
I don't know if you
yeah.
get that. I take my mind
Oh
off the environment. I focus on what I'm doing.
yeah, you're
I focus
professional.
on one again, just like this song, Focus. I read this downstairs. So I focus on what I am doing. So you get, so I leave every means of distraction. You get, so if I am going for a wedding ceremony, I prepare myself and I'm ready for whatever comes at me. You get. So in that
Yeah.
aspect, even just come at line, I still remain focused.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can.
And if it is a burial, if it is a burial ceremony, I am prepared that, oh, in this burial ceremony, your people are going to cry. Yes. So if
Yeah.
I'm an emotional person, I just let it go. So the main thing about this is still the word focus and professionalism. You get know how to
Profession.
balance your emotions. You know how to
Yeah.
balance your emotions. You can't be a photographer
Yeah.
now. P on my yeah, P one on my soul. You will break down. Down is certain. She gets.
Yeah.
So it's more or
Yeah.
less like how would I put it? You know, this is your area of specialty. This is what you want to
Yeah.
do. One aspect you need to learn. It is not only about carrying camera. It is not only about knowing different postures. It is not only about getting the right angles. You get your
Yeah.
brain, your
Yeah.
intellectual, your focus, and your emotions matters a lot. Because you even get
Yeah.
some events that even some people will speak to you rudely. They look down on
Mm.
photographers. They really, really look down on photographers. That one is a different aspect. You get. So most times, even events and engagements, I go. There's a lot of events I've gone to that I go and come back. Where I go with my empty stomach, I come back with my empty stomach, and I don't really care. I remain focused with what I went there to do, and I try to, as much as possible, to balance my emotions. I don't know if I get it right now.
Yes, you are fantastic at that. Thank you so much. So I would like to, because you mentioned something about at events they look down on photographers, but I think there is. I mean, I want to talk from the perspective of branding for photographers as individuals, because I believe many people they I mean when they host events, when they have their functions, they pump money into different things like foods, like decoration, like I mean other harms of the functions. But I know this is not an experience that happen with everybody. I mean that happens with everybody. But for some people, they can pump in money to other aspect of their events. But when it comes to the coverage, when it comes to the media aspect of it, they just want to do something, they don't really care. So as a creative, do you think there's a defect in the culture of keeping memories, especially in Nigeria and Africa at large? When you go to the white countries, you see them, even their sport events, you see great gadgets, you see an event that they are very huge on keeping the memories, because you see the professional outfit. I mean, on the pitch, everywhere, and even you feel proud that this is a profession. Unlike I know we are trying our best in this side of the world, but do you see a defect to the culture of keeping memories in Nigeria and at large Africa? And do you think we are making a headway in making a better sense of the way we keep our culture? I mean, the way we keep memories.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Yeah. In this side of the world, especially Nigeria, if I don't know, based on my own thinking or my assumption, if I should rate it out of 100%, it's more or less like it's just maybe 30 to 40% that appreciates the art of photography. So, people really don't take they place photography, let me put it, photography, videography, they place it at the minimum scale of preference, how would I put it? They really don't put value to it. Now, in the aspect where you're like, okay, events, people put money to decor, put money to this, put money to that, but when it comes to photography, by now I'm no Abieja. Okay, now, it is not only events, it is not only wedding, even a portrait photography, a situation whereby clients will rather spend a lot of money on their outfits. And okay, even if they are going to be doing a cake, they'll spend a lot of money on the cake. But when it comes to photography, how much is enough for you to carry camera? So that's what they think. They think the only thing the photographer does is just to carry camera and snap. They've forgotten the creativity aspects. They've forgotten the
yeah.
time. They've forgotten the hours of editing. They've forgotten,
And
okay,
even
I
the
have to put, is that?
and even the post production. I mean, what you have to get
Exactly.
done on the
Pre
system
and
and all that.
post. Exactly.
Yeah,
And even they've forgotten the equipment. Now you're putting in a way like, okay,
yeah,
let me use Apple as an example now. Apple, they update their device every year. You get. So as a photographer, if I'm not updating my device, if I'm not updating my equipment, very, very soon I'm going to wash off. You get. So
yeah,
even as a photographer, you need to keep on updating yourself. So if you're just going with the regular pay, the regular charges, blah blah blah, yeah, people will think, okay, you're only collecting money for your pockets. Meanwhile, there's lots more. There's lots more. So in this side of the world, Africa as a whole, there are actually people that really understand and appreciate photography. If you go out there, go to the US, every other country, India, and so you see their level, the level at which they
yeah,
really, really appreciate photographers. The
yeah,
level at which they value these things. But Nigerians, they let me put Nigerians, Africans, and a lot of people, they so it takes few people that really understand this, that really understand the concepts. It takes them to really value the word or the job or the profession called photography.
wow, fantastic, fantastic. So, I mean, 1 to 100, at what rate will you put the culture of keeping memories, especially in Nigeria? At what level will you put it? 1 to 100?
Okay, if I want to rate it,
Yeah.
if I want to rate it, you know, uh, to me, I would like to be very, very to be balanced when it comes to that.
Uh,
Because is diverse. Even the funny thing is our culture or the side of these are aspects of the world. We have a lot of culture. If I would rate it, I'll just put it at the scale of maybe, let me just put maybe 60. But to me, there's lots more to it. There's lots more to it because we really don't give
yeah.
enough details when it comes to, I'm sorry I just want to put this in, growing up, we actually go, I don't know, then in primary school, we go for excursions, slave trade, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But the picture, is it pictorial? How would I say it? Like pictorial
Pictorial
representative of those
representation
things.
of those
We
things.
don't have it.
Yeah,
We
you
only
know
see
how
them.
it is.
Like these are the equipment. We don't see pictures. So there is something like it has been ongoing for a very long time. They really don't take that aspect seriously, and which is something we really need to take seriously.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think the technological advancements and the exposure level is adding up, and I
Yeah, it's
think we
adding
are
up.
the top at this time. We might not be able, we might not be at a position whereby we can compete with other developed nations, but I think with fast rising, top professional photographers we are having day after day. I think we are rising, we are rising, we are rising. So
Yeah.
I think we've had an amazing experience so far. But as we exit this conversation, I would like to just ask another question about what you think about the future of photography. I mean, this is on a global or a global perspective. I mean, a global perspective. What do you think about the future of photography? Do you see a rapid movement? Do you see something? There was a time whereby analog style of photography was the rave. You get it? And now we have the digital, and with the movement, do you think this thing will stay at the digital level, or there will be um, some other type of, I mean, photography in years to come?
To me, digital level still maintains. Which other side do you want to say? Okay, is it that there will be a robot now that is snapping people. He gets, but I really don't think that's even if that will come, the knowledge of humans will still be needed. He gets, because there are some aspects of photography that it is still human intellectual is certainly is needed, and photography as far as media lives, photography will live. I don't know if you get that, because photography is a key aspect in the media world. You get is actually a way of saying, telling a lot of stories and interacting to a lot of people. So I don't know if you
Yeah.
get what I mean. So
And
yeah.
thank you so much. I think
So
we've come to the end of this live session, and I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to have you. At least, thank you for
it's a privilege to
obliging to
be
the
here, sir.
call. Thank you, thank you. So, on a last note, would you like to say something that I didn't capture in my questions, and you think it is something that you would like to put out there?
Okay, a quick one. I would just like to share it with my boss, other photographers that are out there that I'm willing to learn from. You know, the thing about photography is more of consistency, determination, focus. You get,
Yeah,
and being patient. You get. Photography is actually something, if you are going into photography for the money, it's gonna really take it's going to be very difficult for you. You get, you go into photography because it is what you love doing. It is what you love doing. Because there'll be days that you'll be so tired that you won't be able to edit pictures, but you have no choice than to edit pictures. Not because you want to deliver, but because it is just in your blood. So,
yeah,
and like my pastor used to say, consistency in life matters a lot. And a key one also is that be ready to serve. Be ready to
yeah,
serve. Be ready to serve. There's no shortcut to success. There's no shortcut to success. People rise up by being helped. You get, people rise up by being helped. So if you are not willing to serve anybody in the industry, if you are not willing
yeah,
to look up to someone and say, okay, can you teach me this thing? And don't even go to that person because you only want to get something from them. Go to the person, give your own side, give your
yeah,
impact, let the person feel your impact. So in
yeah.
that aspect, even the person will be like, oh, this person is worth it. They can pour out to you as well. So let's just maintain our focus. Let's thing and let us the photographer. You're also a storyteller. You're also a
Yeah.
storyteller. So let us try as much as possible to tell good stories. To tell good stories. So I believe with these
Wow,
few
wow.
points of mine, I'm able to convince and not to confuse you. That photography
Yeah,
is key.
yeah. Yeah, what a
So
fantastic moment. What a fantastic moment. So, thank you so much, Dr. Ajayi, and thank you so much for being
you're welcome,
on this
sir.
my live
You're welcome, sir.
IG session. And it is a great privilege to be in the Gathering Church together. So some of the things you said, I've had connection with them, and I must say I've practiced a good number of them. I must give you the pass mark that you are on point. You're on point.
Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to have Dr. Ajayi here with me. He has shared a lot of things about lives, memories, and what lie ahead. I mean, in terms of memory in the future. And I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for yielding to this. And I mean, thank you so much. So, uh, that's the end of what we have for you guys. I believe you
I
are
wish
going
you
to
can keep
join
on
some
talking.
of. We are
I
constrained by
wish.
time. I would have loved that too, but I believe there will still be
Yeah,
moments whereby we can have something
definitely.
more elaborate in the future, and we are going to
Definitely.
sit together as creatives and have, a round table of discussion that we believe will impact lives, and people who are even aspiring creatives. Yeah. So this is creatively speaking once again, and I still have a few number of people that I will be having on this show. I still have people in the advertising space. People, I mean, I don't want to go in depth, but I'm going to be sharing their images. Every moment I'm going to host them. So thank you so much. Yeah, I see you another time. That was, I mean, this is Dotun Ajayi, and you can go on his page, see his amazing works, and just give him a follow. Thank you so much. Till another time, I'm saying, let's see ourselves. Bye for now.
All right, boss.
Bye.